Before I do that, I would like to recognize our current president, who is the president for the 100th year, Miley Foster. I'm just going to wander around. When I was in the Air Force, I did MVWA, management by walking around. First person I'm going to go see over here is Harlan Oakes. Harlan Oakes moved to Colorado Springs back in the 1950s from Russell, Kansas. He's one of the Oakes brothers. His brother Larry was the last mayor of Colorado Springs who was elected by the city council. And quite a heritage. He's Acorn Petroleum, and you were the president of this club in 1984 and 85.
Right on.
And tell us about something significant that happened while you've been in Rotary.
Bill Sinclair was elected president after I served, and the club really was revitalized by his leadership. And he asked me, Bill had asked me to head up the drive for financial support from this club to the Rotary Foundation for Polio Plus. And I had a great committee that did all the work, and we felt we had raised a significant amount of money. Somebody who asked me if I had recollections of the amount of money told me later that they found out that the drive that we put on was approximately $30,000. Doesn't sound like very much, but it was in the mid-'80s. And it's been really of interest to me to follow what's happening in Rotary and across the world in the eradication of polio plus, or eradication of polio.
Thank you very much, Mayor.
Thanks for the meeting.
And it's something that happened in the late 80s, is that Rotary finally woke up with the help of the Supreme Court and allowed women into Rotary. And prior to that, we had Rotarians, such as Alice Ann Oakes, Ginny Crescent, where are you? Right here. Karen Rubin. There we go. My mother was a Rotarian, and as you heard earlier, they serenaded the Rotarians. But right here in our own club, we have a member that joined in 1990. Louisa Graff. She's our longest serving member, female member, and we're so glad to have her as part of our club. Louisa, if you want to hear an interesting story, sit down with her someday. She immigrated from Peru when she was 12 years old. The war was going on there. She was a child of the war. And she came here to Colorado Springs, and she's an extremely successful businesswoman, having opened her own jewelry business out on Centennial. And now she's up on the north side, as you can't miss it when you're going north to Denver, Louisa Graff Diamond and Jewelers. And what did you say some Rotarians said about that?
Well, you know, Rotarians are always helpful, and they always are there when you need them the most, and they're so loving and encouraging. And when I bought that location, I had at least 10 of them come to me and say, Louisa, are you crazy? Tell me that's not true.
Well, we're so glad you're here, and we hope that you continue as a long-serving female member of our Rotary Club. Thank you very much. Just a few more ties that I'd like to mention. Guy Crescent. Both he and his father served as presidents of the Rotary Club of Colorado Springs, 1950 to 51 for your father, and you in 1978 and 79. So I don't have to ask you about what brought you into Rotary.
A good friend of my father's name, Bill Mason.
Yeah?
Bill Mason.
And a little bit of Rotary life. I remember stopping in cross-country trips so he could make up at some little club in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, he's made a lot of difference.
Great. great accomplishment. And working for them today. Charlie Brown, I have in my pocket this little black book. This roster is intended for personal use of Rotarians only. The rules of Rotary International strictly forbid the use of Rotary rosters for any other purpose without special approval. Members should not use this as commercial mailing. This roster should promote acquaintance among club members. It should enable you to readily remember names and faces, and it should make possible for you to associate every name with a face. And your father's listed in here, Sam Brown. Right now, I have the ability to whip out this little device, and I've got all of your names right here. Before it was this. Tell us about Sam.
Well, my father joined Rotary right after World War II. I think it was in the early 50s, 51 maybe, something like that. And, you know, he was a great believer in giving back to the community and supporting the community. And he was president in the early 60s. And later on, you know, I decided to join Rotary for the same reason, giving back to the community and the friendship that Rotary gives, and it's been the most wonderful thing I've ever done.
Thank you. I've got one more young man. We share the same hairstyle. Mr. Whitney. His grandfather, Matt, was a charter member of this club. And your father, Harold?
Yes, my father Harold was also a member, and I've been a member now for 41 years. And there's been a Whitney in this Rotary Club for 100 years.
All right.
Pretty impressive.
So I thought I'd share just a little bit of that heritage with people that are actually with us today. And Elaine Gibbs, as part of our committee, has put together a wonderful presentation for you. And it looks like Laurel is going to get the microphone now. Thank you very much.